All
All
right,
right, and we're
so
off.
gone.
Welcome, Johannes. Tell us about yourself.
All right, guys. So yeah, so great. Thanks for having me. My name is Johannes Fessler. For people that don't know me, I'm a high performance mindset coach specifically for agency owners. And I'm doing this like in the last 3 years. I have coached over 200 agency owners, and a lot of them doubled or tripled revenue in record time, mostly through an approach that almost nobody is using. So I would say what I do is very unique, okay? And that's why it works every fucking time. So basically, I help to fix the foundation. What do I mean with that? It's like if you learn all the strategies and skills, let's say you learn clay, you learn this, you learn that. I think it's easy with strategies and skills to get to 10, 15K, no problem whatsoever. But if you want to go over 10, 15K and your foundation, which I believe is your mindset, is not in place, you're not going anywhere. Because, like I always say, it's like when you are putting all the strategies and skills into your brain and you have a mindset blocker, it's the same thing like you're putting good software on a computer with a virus. It will not fucking work, right? Because the mindset blocker will stop you from getting there where you want to go. So, and to explain it is a little bit better, I have prepared a short client story of a client of mine that will explain you what I do and how I work so you will get a little bit of a better understanding what this is all about, right? So the story is like my client is George. I call him George because I like to change the names of my clients because obviously I keep their privacy, right? But this is let's call him George. And George came to me like what I did in the old times, Rota knows this, is basically I offered a clarity call. Basically, I charged 500 bucks for this and I called a one-on-one clarity call. And what I did on the call is people came to me that have been stuck with their agencies. They were stuck on some kind of revenue for a longer time. They couldn't scale up. They were just in general stuck. And they came to me and I basically on this call found their biggest blocker, released their blocker, and then they scaled their agency up. Because most of the time there's one, two blockers that's stopping you from going there where you want to go, but you have no fucking idea where they come from. And that's the interesting part. So now let me tell you the story so you get a better understanding. So George came to me and said, like, Johannes, I don't know, I'm stuck between, like, I'm stuck with my agency now. And I'm like, what you on? What your revenue is? Yeah, yeah, between 12 and 15K. I'm like, since when? I'm like, I don't know, like 9 months. I'm like, okay. It's like, what do you think you're stuck? Like I always ask a lot of questions and I always ask why. You will see why quickly. Right. And I said, why do you think you're stuck? I don't know, man. It's just like it's like 9 months like this. And I was like, okay, how many staff do you have working for you? Like, how many people do you have working for you? Nobody. I'm like, why? I'm like, do you have any kind of savings? And he's like, yeah, 30 grand. And I'm like, why you have nobody working for you? Are you like, why? I need to understand that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust that they do it as good as me. I'm like, okay, but you don't even have an inbox manager? I mean, bro, like what the fuck? I mean, there's like I have worked with a lot of inbox managers that have been better than me. There will be somebody that maybe does this better than you, maybe even, right? But you don't think it's a limiting belief. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't trust that they can do it as good as me. And I'm like, okay, so what do you mean you don't trust, you don't do a proper training, you don't think you can do proper training for them, you cannot do the proper SUP. So what thing makes you think that they don't do it as good as you? I don't know, man. I just don't trust people. I'm like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. What do you mean you don't trust people? Yeah, I don't trust people in general. I'm like, okay. So like only at work or in general? No, no, in general, I don't trust people. I'm like, okay, so interesting. So let me ask you a question like, why do you think you don't trust people? I don't know. I don't know. And I always ask why. And then I ask the next question. I said, like, okay, so when we come into this world, when we're kids, we trust everybody. You can put us anywhere. We trust, we're trusting, right? That's just what happens. But something must have happened to you. Do you remember the first time when you did not trust the person or when you did not trust people? When did it start? And then like I always say, like take your time, think about it because trust me, when people have stuff like this, there always has been a traumatic event. So right, and I like let him think, and he's like thinking, I'm like, yeah, I remember. I'm like, what? If you don't mind sharing, what has it been? Yeah, I was like between 7 and 10, actually, my whole childhood. I'm like, what? Yeah, so I was always waiting. I had like school plays and had like football games, and my father also was an entrepreneur. And he always told me he's going to come to my school plays or to my football games, and he never came. And that's why I lost trust into people in general. I'm like, okay, thanks first of all very much for sharing this. That's a really sad story. But do you also understand now why you still, 20 years later, you're 27 now, you still don't trust people because of a situation that happened to you 20 years ago? Do you understand that? He's like, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, do you think that the George from today has still a lot to do with this George when you were like 7 to 9 years old? And no, I'm different today. I'm like, okay, so how is your relationship with your father today? Yeah, he supports me because he's an entrepreneur. He supports me to be an entrepreneur. I'm like, okay, so you have a good relationship with your father again. Yeah. I'm like, okay, so can you forgive your father what he did to you at this time? Yeah, I believe I can do that. I'm like, okay, you know what I want you to do? I want you to go next weekend, go take him out for lunch or whatever, and just talk it through with him, and just basically ask him that he somehow that if he can ask you for forgiveness, right? And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to do this." And I said, "And then you also now know why you don't trust people, and you also know now that it's bullshit. And I also want you to manage get an inbox manager. That's the next thing that you do, okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay." I was like, "You promised me both, and I said like I'll keep you accountable for this." So now the next week after he called me. He's like, "Johannes, yeah, I talked to my father. We talked it out. He was crying. We were both crying." And it was such a massive release. He told me he wanted so long to talk to me about it already about this, but he didn't know how. And he was so happy that I brought it up. And finally, we could relieve that. And now I'm going to get an inbox manager. 2 weeks later, he told me I have an inbox manager now. 60 days, 2 months later, I met him. He told me, Johnny, I scaled to 35K and I have 3 people now working for me. So why I'm telling you that story? Because George would have never found out by himself why he's not scaling his company. If he would not have done this work, if I would not have lead him to get there and find the mental blocker. Never in life. All right. And that is just one example what I do with my work. I go in, I say, where is your mental blocker? I find it and I remove it. And when you remove the mental blocker, your implementation becomes effortless. Like when there's the blocker there, like in this case, it was just him not scaling because obviously, I don't know if you have been in a situation like this. I mean, I have been in a situation like this when you're doing 10, 15K, something like this, and you're really doing everything by yourself. You're almost subconsciously not taking on more clients. You stop your outreach, you do like this, you do all these things just to not have even more work in there, right? So you have to outsource. It's just something that you have to do at that stage. And when you are having a blocker that you don't trust people, you're not going anywhere. And that's just one example. I have so much more examples of people. I can tell you that when people don't scale their company, when people are stuck, people always think it's their strategy, it's their skills, it's their offer. But in 95% of the time, it's their mindset. In 95%, it's a mental blocker. And that's why the work that I do is so powerful. Okay. And I've done it, and I tell you a little bit why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? So I grew up as the first son of a mayor. I had a lot of pressure on myself, and I was the first son of two big families. All right. And needed to go to the elite school where my father was. And I was failing completely. I didn't like school. I was because I was the first child, very quickly after come my two brothers, and I was always the center of attention when I was a kid. Like, yeah, everybody's like this, that, that, and then I was not anymore the center of attention. So I wanted to have it back. So I was like ADHD, I would you call it today. And I was loud and I was this, and I didn't fit into school. And my third grade teacher told me, Johannes, one day you will carry trays. And with 18, 19, the first job that I had was carrying trays. I was basically everything that they told me, I became that. I was a failure, I was a loser, and I was a failure and a loser my whole youth. Okay. And basically, I got by society made me put me into this, turned me into this. And then when I lost, like I had this big dream to go on cruise ships. So I left my hometown. And before I went on cruise ships, they did like positive brainwash me. They brought me into a place where they said, Johannes, you can do everything. You are the king of the world. You're an amazing, blah, 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 blah. So I went on ships with this new consciousness. And I was the best fitness worldwide, personal trainer worldwide in the whole world for 2 weeks, for 2 years. All right. I sold over 1 million from stage. I was like, people were doing strong seminars in small aerobic studios. I went in theater. I don't know if you've ever been on a cruise ship in the big theaters where there's like 1,000 people in there. I made seminars in this theater and I was just super successful. I had a journal that I had before where I wrote always in what I want to achieve and I 10x everything. It was insane, right? So, and why I'm telling you this, by accident, I found my what I call natural success mindset. Just keep this in mind. I go into this a little bit further later. But like what I found by accident was my natural success mindset. And I also tell you, if you are somewhere stuck in your situation where you just feel you cannot get further, right? It's very good to just change place because the environment keeps you stuck. All right. But when you go somewhere else, your natural success mindset, and you invent yourself completely new, it's a completely different story. So I found it by accident. So then I was so successful. I was a spa manager afterwards. I had amazing career on ships. And then after 5 years, I was on a work cruise and I met the French Swiss millionaire and he said, Johannes, somebody like you needs their own business. I'm going to give you the money that you need to open your own business in Marbella, Spain. I'm like, okay, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I canceled everything. I broke up my career. I said like, I'm going to find a place. I found a location. I had a business plan ready. And then when I sent it to him, the guy ghosted me. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? And I was almost giving up. And then 3, 4 months later, I visited my brother and I told him the story. It's like, Johannes, why you don't ask this old friend of us? Okay. And I said, okay, good idea. So I was like calling him and he was doing Thai boxing at this time. Um, and Muay Thai. And I told him about the cryo spa that I want to open. You guys know these freezing treatments that the sports people are doing, where they put you in this thing where it's like just minus 200 degrees and just the head comes out. Like, yeah, so that's basically a thing that I opened my own spa here. And this guy was doing this Thai boxing, so he know about this, and he's like, okay, I'm investing into it. But he invested into it with on a price that was mega fucking high because he had 100K on the side for the first 6 months, and 10 days before we opened, we took the 100K, invested it into another business. So I started with 80K in debt with this business, right? In a new country, I didn't speak the language, nothing. I just had a big dream. And then this guy it called like people that are energy vampires that are just super negative and just steal your energy and just fucking tell you that you're very bad. And he told me every day you're a failure, you're a loser, Johannes. You cannot do nothing. You're not good for anything. Like he told me all that things again. And I was so flying high. I was so successful. And in between of like a few years, I lost everything again. And I was on the bottom. I lost my company. It was COVID at this time. I lost my company. I lost my car. I lost my girlfriend. I lost even my flat. I was living in a friend's pool house. I was completely rock bottom. And then when I realized, fuck me, where is my success mindset gone? Like, what the fuck? I was so successful. And then I realized, you know what? The biggest problem that I have, because the thing is like this, when you are in this situation that everything just goes well, it goes bad, you're not thinking you're failing. You're thinking you are a fucking failure. You identify yourself with it, right? And so but I understood at this moment, like I lost completely control over my mind. And that's why I'm there where I am today. I'm so negative. I had only negative spirals going on in my brain. And I was like, I decided on this day, I'm not continuing to live one day longer like this. And I basically made a decision. I said, like, fuck me, I'm not living one day longer like this. And I did everything to get my natural success mindset back that I had on ships. I meditated every day for 1.5 hours. I did the 5 a.m. club for 8 months where I wake up every day at 4:30. I did CBT, I did Wim Hof breathing, whatever you think about, I did everything, right? But nothing really nothing helped me more than what I call mind debugging, where you basically take every belief that ever has been implanted into your brain and you turn it around and you see if it helps you or hindered you to go to your goal. So what I did is I understood like, right, like I am not this, I am not that, because I have this before. Like the only thing what I need to do is I need to change my belief system again. And if I change my belief system again, I will be successful again. So I learned in this time, I learned a systematic structured approach how you can get complete mind control again. So you can get complete control over your beliefs and everything that's happening, right? So that's what I did. And then I scaled my agency in 6 months to 35K, all right? Just because I found again my mind control. And today, this is the funniest thing. I know exactly structured approach how I can bring everybody there to find out every mental blocker, relieve it, and then boom, the implementation becomes effortless. So now it's getting interesting because now when I was so successful, I came into agency velocity where I met Ratan, right? Where we meet each other first. And I was one of the best people in there. And I scaled my agency up. I worked with Dr. Cialdini. I worked with Allegro, blah, blah, blah. And there was another guy, he was 18, he was running the mindset course. I was like, yeah, this guy is not bad, but like, I love to run the mindset course. So I started running the mindset course. And what we realized is that people that joined my course, they really scaled all up their agencies. People that didn't, there was a few that did it by themselves, but the rest not. And then after I offered one-on-ones, and the people that did one-on-ones with me, they doubled, tripled revenue in record time. Everybody of them. And that's why I was like, I'm onto something. And so I realized that all these brilliant, driven entrepreneurs, right, that have been in there, they had exactly the same mental blockers that I had: imposter syndrome, perfectionism, whatever you call it. All of them had these mental blockers because it's normal. You're coming into this world. You normally should fit in a 9 to 5, but you're different. You're breaking out of the system. So people tell you you're this, you're that. Nobody really believes in you. So it's easy to become an imposter, or like me, or you don't fit it at all because you're an ADHD or whatever, because a lot of entrepreneurs are ADHD. And you just having this kind of limiting beliefs, mental blockers. And as long as you're having these mental blockers, I said, when you have mental blockers, you can stay in a job your whole life, no problem. But if you want to be an entrepreneur and your mindset is not in place, you're not going anywhere, my friend. Nowhere. Because if you are not having the mindset to go out there and say, like, yo, this is me. I don't care if you reject me or not, because I know who the fuck I am. You're not going far. Because as an entrepreneur, you need to have a strong mindset. It doesn't matter if you watch, for example, the School of Hard Knocks or something like this, the guy that's interviewing the billionaires, they always tell you one thing: this one is the foundation of everything. If you have your mindset in place, you can go fucking everywhere. It doesn't matter which skills you learn, because skills you can learn. But if your mindset is not in place, forget about it. That's what it's about. So that's what I teach, is basically the foundation. I teach you that you release every blocker that you have, and then implementation becomes effortless. And that's the work that I do, and that's why I helped already like hundreds of agency owners exactly doing that work, right? And what I'd like to do today, because there was a little bit of a long story, I understand, but what I like to do today, if anybody of you wants to be, how is it called? A voluntary, okay? I can take you and I can find your biggest blocker right now if you want to. Anybody wants to go? Yeah? Go on then. So where are you right now, Anna, with you are running an agency as well?
No, I'm not. I'm currently working for an employer
Uh-huh.
for the past 10, close to 11 years.
Yeah.
Definitely going above and beyond. And I have reached in originally I was thinking about investing within this, so it will be more like a partnership thing, but it never did go that way. And instead they've been bought out by a really big company.
Okay.
And lately I'm in a phase where everything that I have put in, I realize is just not the right path, not the right thing for me anymore. So from my own frustration, I throw myself into clay work and all that, and decided to go and do my own thing. But I'm still currently working, mom of 3. The time is extremely limited, to say the least. So here I am working non-stop up until 2, 3 a.m. in order to make it. And this is just about every day. I do have a perfectionist mindset.
Yes.
Which kind of screws up with me big time. Wish I had more time on my hands, and I obviously don't. So I have to extremely be ruthless and prioritize everything. So I can't, but I can't because I also tend to be, what have I been called? But it's so true up to this day. I tend to be a butterfly, that socializer butterfly, that wants to learn everything and be everywhere because of big time fear of missing out. So I think I just about described you 360-degree my current life right now. So yeah, this is me. Currently working on getting my CRM clay certification, and this has been my priority right now. I have done quite a few courses when it comes to how to become a GTM engineering. And I am currently completing the clay boot camp, which I don't know if you ever heard of it before.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Nathan.
Yeah, Nathan, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is just about kind of describes me. I'm really not sure whether or not to go work for somebody else or actually opening up my own thing, because this life balance is definitely not easy. And at the same time, I'm really done when it comes to my work. Like, to give you an idea, I took upon myself in implementing clay and doing everything within the work in order to do it. And the answer was that, yeah, nice, cool, all that, but they're still doing it manual work. So because it wasn't their choice to it wasn't their choice to implement it, and instead they just want me to do more like an SDR job type of thing. So I'm kind of, it's really, I'm really fed up. I'm really fed up, which is the reason why I've started this whole thing on my own and pushing so much hard on myself right now.
Okay. So your goal is now basically to finish this thing with Nathan, so the clay boot camp, and then?
Well, basically getting through my CRM certification, it's my exit plan, sort of. Like, if I have the certification, it's like I can sort of demonstrate on what I can do on my own. Finish up the clay boot camp. The technical part is done. I still have to be even starting the business shadowing, I suppose, in a certain way, with agency and all that. I haven't started it because truly time is extremely limited, and I'm already having a hard time as it is. So it's I've asked to please go step by step. Definitely different than all the other students, but they do understand my struggles, so they've been extremely helpful in putting in and accommodating me. And I'm an expert when it comes to LinkedIn. So I really could just simply be doing that and developing people, businesses, pages, and all that. I don't even know why I actually have stayed with my current work for so long, because honestly, I could just simply be doing that and getting paid really good money for it too. But somehow I'm obviously stopping myself, and I don't know. This is me.
Okay, super interesting. All right. So basically the biggest blocker that you have, that you already see yourself a little bit, is like that you're scared to go out of the safe employment situation.
In a certain way, I am, because I do have responsibilities. Like, it's not simply just picking up and going and having somebody else behind you that can cover you. I mean, yes, I do have a husband and everything, but without two salaries, it's just not feasible to be making it. So in a certain way, yeah.
Okay. So how long how much time do you use for your job? Like, do you have to go into an office, or?
Well, it's like I do. So the morning it's gone through the office. So up until basically it's like I have to guarantee 6 hours a day. In reality, it's like what I do is the morning it's office from like 9 to 2. And then I recuperate the rest of it in the afternoon, in which I work basically on clay tables and try to make life better for the rest of the team. But in a certain ways, like, they look upon it as they're granting me a favor, not me doing it the other way around. So in parallel, I should also be doing other things that are necessary, but it's just, I mean, time is limited. I already work like 10 hours a day as it is.
Okay, 10 hours a day, but how much like of time is this 10 hours is for your own thing?
For my own thing, well, it's sort of like in parallel right now, because what I did is me working on the CRM certification. I'm working on projects that can be useful for internal use. So
Yeah.
this is what I mean. It's like, but I'm not developing yet any client work. I'm not developing anything. It's like basically what I'm doing is I'm working on these projects, which helps me get closer to the technical base or helps me develop. It's sort of like a project that I could be easily doing it internally as I could be doing it externally as well. It's me gathering more practical experience, and it's sort of a mix right now because it's so much interconnected.
That's what I heard. Yeah, exactly. But you say you have the feeling you feel stuck, and you also said like you wonder why you did not do this step much further because like how long you're already in this job now? That's what you said. Like
In
how many
April,
years?
I'll be 11 years.
11
And
years.
it's been a mixture of like RevOps, PR, LinkedIn experts. It's such a mixture of marketing, sales, because I have been doing it. It's like we were a small company, so you had to sort of like go in and do a bit of
I
everything.
understand.
So
basically, you are the one that is is starting doing one thing, does it well, and does more things because does it well as well, and then does more and more and more things, right? That's how I feel it, how I see it, right? Exactly. Okay, exactly. Okay, so but then also obviously you realize because you're doing all that things, you could also start to work for yourself because at the end you're already managing anyway everything.
exactly.
Okay, got you. And what makes you, what is like what do you think is the blocker that you never did it before? Like what you scared from? How much can I ask you, how much how much do you get paid by your employer if you don't mind?
No, it's okay. I get about 1.5, 1.6 per month net,
What,
obviously.
pounds?
No, euros.
Okay, all right. Interesting. Okay. So this is what you get for the work that you do. You're basically almost like a COO, COO. So you're doing a lot of different jobs at the same time, almost for this guy. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but I honestly, from my standpoint, it's you're underpaid.
Oh yeah, I know.
Badly underpaid.
Badly too.
Right?
Yeah,
Badly
badly.
underpaid, right? And like I think from the skill set that you bring to the table, you could long time do your own thing.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just taxes. I live in a country where we get taxed big time. Like 45% of everything that I get gets to be taxed.
Where are you living?
So I live in Milan, Italy.
All right, okay, yeah.
So it's like, plus it's entrepreneurship. It doesn't mean it's like you get a constant, doesn't mean you get to be a constant paycheck. So that's also one of the fears. It's like, okay, so it's true that right now I am big time underpaid. But one of the things that I did is like, okay, I will work 6 hours, really more than that, because I always been one that will be developing my own thing in my own spare time. But the thing, because you don't get to learn all the things that I get to learn unless you put the hours in and you put the study in. It's just the way it is. And but the thing is like it's a fixed paycheck. It's like I grew up with the mentality in which
this is the problem.
Yes, it is the problem because
Exactly.
you do have to go against what you've been taught since you were a kid, where it's like steady money income that comes in, but at the same time, you do have responsibility. You just can't just cut off and then just leave.
Yeah,
you know?
I understand. But like, let's go to the blocker because obviously that's what I want to do here, right? So why do you believe you have never done that step that you basically go there for this? Like, just why you have never done? Because you told me you're a long time already thinking about it, but what stopped you from doing it?
Well, this exactly thing. It's like the kids up until now were little. I mean, my oldest one right now is 14. My youngest one is 9. So up until now, it just wasn't even feasible, thinkable. And at the same time, I didn't really think that I could do it. So part of me was also imposter syndrome. And the mentality, like you have mentioned, is like, yeah, okay, you're a good employee, but you kind of, that's your net. That's where you have to be fitting within that thing. At the same time, it's like, there is only so much you can do. I mean, everybody knows that the moment that you actually do and become an entrepreneur, you have to be putting a lot more hours in, and day in and day out, no time. And the kids were small. There was just no freaking way possible for me to be doing it. Now we started, now I can start thinking of like going and developing my own thing, which is I've reached a point in which I need to get out. I need to be finding an alternative. It's like, I just, for the first time in my life, I did not pass an information to my boss because of the, I passed it to the marketing team, you know? I passed it to the responsible team who will be in the power of making the changes that need to be changed. But up until now, I will be having a direct contact with the CEO and he will be listening. But lately it's been like, whatever I say doesn't matter anymore. So it just really just no point anymore. I've gotten to the point,
so
it's
you
like,
need to get out of it.
I just need to get out.
Okay. Right. So like, what do you think about this? If you think about it, like you're making 1.6, right? I don't know if you know how much you guys we are doing when we do clay projects and stuff
No,
like this, right?
I know. I got
It's
an
like,
idea.
It's done in like this, right? So this is like really like
I think it's like 1 or 2. I don't really need a lot. It's like I need like 1 or 2 clients in order to be happy. But you know, it's
You're
like I
good.
wouldn't I wouldn't be even needing to be going more than that because I don't want more than that. I don't think I could handle any more than that with my current work situation and family situation, you know, and I want to be together with the kids. I don't want to be going any higher than that. But at the same time, making that jump is like, plus I'm very good at strategic thinking because I wouldn't have gotten up to here if I didn't. So it's like, do I really want to go and do the manual work, which kind of bores the hell out of me? That's also something that's stopping me a little bit because it's like, okay, I do want to become good from a technical point of view so that I can evaluate somebody else's work. But really, when it comes to me, it's like I'm very good at anticipating things that will be needed, very good at strategical thinking because that's how I always been. It's like I'm one step ahead in order to think about it. But it's kind of hard to sell those type of services, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you sell those type of services if you haven't really done it besides your current workload, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, obviously, if you have to, like you're doing the clay boot camp now, so you have a reason. Like, if you're done with the clay boot camp, you have a high possibility to find whatever you want to do because there's a massive demand for clay work on the market. So, like, I don't see any problem that you find anything there. I mean, alone in like where I'm in the mastermind where I am in Agency Velocity, or even here in this clay group, that you will find maybe people that are looking for people that doing their work for them. So it's like I personally have a clay expert as well that I work with, for example, where I do stuff by myself, but I do like also stuff that she's just doing for me. I mean, in general, I mean, I think the biggest thing for you is to change that belief that a 9 to 5 is better than having 2 or 3 clients. That's the biggest one for you, right? Because like, let's say, like you said as well, but you realized it by yourself as well. If I have 2 clients, I make, if I have, you know, I don't know what kind of clay project you're doing, but like you can easily make with 2 clients, you make easy 3K. Like this, and then you have double already, you know? Like, I think the main problem for you is because people are always security, security, security. Like, there's one question that I want to ask you. Like, what is more secure, one employer or like 5 clients and you lose 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter, right? But if you have more clients, you can lose 1 or 2, it doesn't matter because you still have some others running. But if you have one employer, they say one time you go and then you go. So what's more secure?
I get your picture. Part of me is also wondering, is like, I don't know how you guys actually manage to juggle all of it. Like, right now is like 1 month is you're able to juggle. I'm the type of person that doesn't throw myself in unless I know I can guarantee it. Like my employer a while ago, like he even said to me, it's like, I want to pay you full time, even though you can't guarantee me all the hours because I know you're worth it. But I was the first one in the first place that I said no, and I stopped it because it's like, maybe I can guarantee you that I'm able to do it like a month, 2 months in, but I'm not sure whether I can do it. It's like, how do you manage to guarantee the type of work and type of quality work? Because I am a perfectionist. I do tend to, I don't want to deliver unless I actually can guarantee
That's another
that the
problem,
work.
obviously.
That's another problem, obviously. Yeah.
Why do you think you are a perfectionist?
Because that's how I grew up. It's like, that's how, for us, that's how it was. It's like, unless you actually can guarantee good work, then you got a certain reputation that you cannot uphold. And it
Yeah,
has,
good work and perfect works on two different things.
it's not, no, it's not, it's, to me, it's like, even right now, it's like, I think I went back onto the CRM project and crashed it 3 or 4 times because I knew it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough until right now, until I found my solution. But finding that solution takes time, like took 2 weeks extra time compared to what I had planned. But I know that this is right now the right road to go on to and the right way on how I'm proceeding. But that's how it's like, I wonder, it's like, how are you able, okay, part of it comes with experience. All right,
Yeah.
I get it. But it's like, how do you guarantee that you are able to keep up with all the clients, all the different projects on the go at the same time, and also be able to, like, right now, my husband is giving me a huge hand, and I couldn't have done it up to now until so far, unless he will have been an active part of all of this crazy project, as he calls it. But really, if I were to keep going ahead and not finding myself somebody to work for, which I'm not sure about going that route, to be honest with you, but if I were to be going, it's like I will have to be having like multiple clients on the go at the same time, and not necessarily being able to guarantee the work within the timing that I do promise that it will be going out. And I don't know if I could actually live without anxiousness, without all this. So part of me is like stopping ahead of time, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Look, this is a very good example right now. I mean, you are a perfect example why mindset is the foundation of everything. As long as you don't fix these blockers,
yeah,
I don't
it's like
see,
I'm not.
I don't see you becoming an entrepreneur. It's not
I
gonna
know.
happen. And I also can tell you that I cannot fix this now on this call because this is a bigger one.
No,
There's a
it's
lot
too
to
many.
fix.
It's too many.
There's a lot to fix, right? But like one thing, I want to give you 2 things that basically you can pull something out of it. So number 1 is like really question the belief if is a 9 to 5 is the one thing that you want to do your whole life. All right.
No, it's not. I already know that it's not.
Because 9 to 5 for me, job is just over broke. Like you're never going anywhere. Like you're not going far with a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
So like this is the thing you need to think about, and you need to really make this decision in your brain, because in the end it's all about one decision. To say like, okay, decision is I stay in this because that's what everybody does and that's what they always told me and that's why I stay in this. Or I decide like to say like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to go and I'm doing this entrepreneur thing. And if it's not working, I can still go back into a job. You know, you can right now, you can even stay still in this job and run 1, 2 clients on the side, easy. And everything else is a fucking excuse to yourself. Because I can tell you one thing. I worked with people that went into school from 7 to 4 or 5, right? And then after college, for example, and then after they build up their agency to 10K. I have worked with people that worked in apprenticeships. I worked with people, like it's all an excuse. There's nothing else. Like Elon Musk has the same hours than you. Everybody has the same hours than you. It's just an excuse. Like everything else that you really want to do, you can do it. And you need to change. There's another thing. You need to change your 9 to 5 mindset from hours into projects. Like you have a 9 to 5 mindset. You're like, I have to work 6 hours, I have to do this, that. So if you have to change your mindset from hours into projects, that's number 1. And you have to also really start to question this kind of beliefs. I call it a narrative, almost a story that you have created in your brain. You know what I mean? About how the world has to look like if you want to become an entrepreneur. Because if you don't, you're not going to be one.
Johannes, do you mind if I jump in here for a second?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
So one thing that I can kind of relate to, Anna, is that you feel like you don't have enough time to be able to manage the clients and a job which you need or you feel you need at the minute to cover the bills to be able to take care of
Yeah.
your kids,
Yeah.
which I can understand. And then at the same time, you're worried that even if you do manage to get clients to cover the cost that you're covering with your job, you're not sure you're going to be able to deliver for them. And you're
Yeah.
worried then it's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
But what you have to realize is that you're focusing too much on guaranteeing success or perfect tables. But that's not how this space works. What
Exactly.
companies are hiring for is they're hiring for somebody to take over that whole role. They're hiring somebody to be able to figure this stuff out for them. So if I'm the CEO of a company, I don't want to have to waste my time trying to figure out how to scrape Google Maps and then find their emails. It's not that I need somebody to find it for me super fast. If I wanted that, I would just hire somebody off of Fiverr to scrape the list. I'm hiring somebody with Clay because I want somebody internally that over time are going to be able to figure all of this stuff out for me. And then they're going to be an integral part of my company's growth. Now, if you're charging $5,000 a month for Clay projects, then yes, there's a higher expectation and they want projects done fast. But quite frankly, you're not at that stage yet, so you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
All you need to
Okay.
do is reach out to smaller companies. And in fact, I can probably reach out to Naomi. You know Naomi in the group?
No.
So Naomi, I can't pronounce her surname, but Naomi, what she does is she actually helps companies place go-to-market engineers and Clay creators. Some of the
Okay.
people she places, they're making $250,000 a year just doing go-to-market engineering.
Okay.
Now, others that she's placing are making 1.6 to 2 grand a month. What I can do, and I can't make any promises because I'm not
No,
Naomi,
of
but I can
course.
introduce you to her. And
Mhm.
maybe because she's always headhunting and filling roles for people like you and for companies. Maybe what we can do is we can intro you to her and she might be able to find you a position. Even if we can't, if all you did was reach out to companies in the Clay group, they're saying we need a go-to-market engineer. If you just
Mhm.
reached out to them
Yeah.
via Slack or via LinkedIn or even found their number, you now know how to scrape phone
Yeah,
numbers
of course.
and just ring them and say, listen, this is what I can do. This is what I have been doing. I can't guarantee I'm going to be perfect, but I can guarantee I'm going to try. And
Okay.
then just charge a low price. You don't need to charge an extortionate price that you don't feel comfortable with.
Yeah,
Aside from
exactly.
anything else, you're not going to feel comfortable and you'll feel guilty if you can't make it work. So charge
Yeah.
900 a month, charge 750, it doesn't matter. If you charge 750, at least then you'll feel confident that you can deliver that much worth of value every month. And start off easy, take 2 clients, and for those 2 clients, just do 2 or 3 tables a month. That way you're
Yeah.
only doing 6 tables and you've already made 1.5 grand a month, and you've already covered what you're making with the job. And you can do that while you're doing the job. And then once you're at a
Easy.
stage where you feel like you can then take on more work and you have a system, then you can quit the job or at least think about it. And that way
Yeah.
you're getting this, you haven't lost any security. In fact, you've got more because now you're bringing in more money.
Mhm.
You are just as confident because you're not overcharging and you're not expecting, nobody's expecting anything of you that you can't actually deliver because you're
Mhm.
not delivering on fast tables or perfect tables. You're delivering on, I'm going to try my best to build what you need in Clay and I'm going to figure out how to do it, or at least I'm going to figure out how close I can get to doing it. And that's what they're paying you for. So I'm not sure if that helped, but this is kind of the things that I need to tell myself often because I'm
Mhm.
similar to you. It takes me a while to convince myself that I'm good enough to do these projects and that I can actually increase my prices because I'm always worried about making everything perfect.
Mm.
And I understand the security issue, so I wouldn't recommend quitting your job immediately, but I
No.
would definitely recommend finding somebody to be able to deliver projects for, because finding 1 or 2 clients to cover 1.5 thousand euros per month is not difficult. I might even
No.
be able to send you some companies that need that help. I can't make any promises, but I might even be able to.
No.
All you need to
I
do is just reach out to the people that are hiring for those roles, and 1.5 thousand per month is pennies for them. Most of them are looking to pay 3,000 per month or more.
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
that's my 2 cents on the topic.
Yeah,
You're
No,
perfect,
valuable
bro.
at
Like,
it.
it's
thank you.
good.
No, I think I appreciate it a lot because you have been in the same situation than her. Like, right, for me, this has been a long time ago. So I like really, but like, I think he's really onto something here, right? And this is just the thing. Like, he just in general gave you a perfect plan how to do it now. in the way like I said it. I just told you this is the stuff that you need to change, and he gave you a step-by-step thing how to do it. But the general thing is really that you have to change this belief of like, like like he just said, like you have two projects and you have the same money. It's that simple. And you have stopped. That's the point that you need to realize as well. You have been stuck in a job that you don't like for like 5, 6 years just because you have that mindset that this is keeping you, giving you better money than if you would just try to go out there and find like 2, 3 clients.
Yeah, I think I had to also kind of get there myself. Like up until now, for me, it was mainly a discovery. Like
Yeah.
I had, like I will know how to go onto Sales Navigator and then find like some very specific leads. But then I wouldn't, at the time, I didn't even know the discovery of clay and how I will be able to actually find my ideal ICP and then how
Yeah.
to be able to do it. So it was all very manual. For me, clay was basically starting to discover it about 6 months ago, and what it could be possible, what it could be done. And after that, since then, I basically threw myself into it
Yeah.
and gaining more confidence, because obviously the only thing that makes you gain confidence is basically doing the tables and doing the
Yeah.
work.
How long, sorry, like the Nathan Lippy thing, like where you are there now, like how long do you need to finish it?
Well, it's like right now I still have he's going to connect me with Spencer, but
Mhm.
my first goal right now was to basically finish the CRM certification, which right
Uh-huh.
on, you kind of know a little bit about that one. But
Uh-huh.
anyways, that was my initial goal, because I kind of specialized on CRM. My idea originally
Okay.
was to develop a more like a CRM agency, because there aren't that many right now.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So that was my idea on why to throw myself in there. So, but it's a lot more complicated than just to say it like that. So
So
anyways,
Anna,
yeah,
with the CRM, do you know how much companies are paying to clean up their CRMs?
I have no idea. No, that one I have no idea.
So there's an agency called Sculpted, and you can
Yes.
look them up. You've heard of
Yeah, I know.
Sculpted.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. All they do
Jacob.
is clean up CRM data. Well, that's
Yeah.
all they do. And do you know how much they charge?
Oh, well, about 10K, I think, more or less. But they got multiple different.
25,000.
You kidding me that much?
They charge
Yeah.
It's like
25,000.
it just
And if
depends
you
where
were to
you
go into
go.
a business and now to be fair, they're
Mm.
targeting ginormous companies. And when
Yes.
you clean up all of that data, it's incredibly valuable because they now have fresh data to run campaigns,
Yes.
and et cetera, et cetera. But what you need to
Yeah.
realize is you need to stop thinking that what you're delivering is just 2 hours of work in a clay
Yeah,
table.
exactly.
That's not what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
cleaning up data that can translate into hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of revenue for companies.
Yeah.
You're not appreciating how much you know, even as you are currently. Now, what I would add to that, you don't need to be Jacob. If you just approached smaller companies that don't even know clay exists and do
Yeah.
a sample project for them, even if they only paid you 500 euros, you're still making an extra 500 euros. You
Yeah,
do 3 of
exactly.
them a month, you're covering your job.
Yeah,
That's
that's
all
true
you need to
too.
do. And then
Mm.
at the
Yeah.
same time, what you need to realize as well, I've kind of just got a bit of a brain fart. I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, with Nathan Lippy's course. So I understand that you're focused on completing the CRM,
Mhm.
this task, and I would complete it, but give yourself more time because let's be honest, this course is not paying you. So this should not be
No.
your number one priority. Your number one priority should be doing the bare minimum with your job so you don't lose it. But that won't happen because you've been doing it for 11 years clearly successfully. If
Yeah.
you were bad at it, you would have lost it. So you've
Yeah,
done it for
exactly.
11 years. Just keep doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Spend 2 hours just reaching out to small companies on LinkedIn. You know how to do that.
Yeah.
Not even 2 hours. If you spent 30 minutes doing it, sending them
Mhm.
voice notes, sending them messages, just saying,
Mm.
listen, I want a role as a go-to-market engineer. You don't necessarily need to say I'm cheap, but you can kind of position it like that. Just get a few roles. And then
Mhm.
once you have some work,
Mhm.
then you can start worrying. And after you fulfill that work, then you can start worrying about developing yourself. but you're not going to be able to develop yourself any further if you don't have money coming in. So the number one priority should be getting money in, then getting money in with your own personal ventures, and then it should be developing yourself personally. Right now, you have it backwards. You have getting just about enough money in, then developing yourself personally, and then trying to find the time to make more money with your own thing, which isn't going to work because you're going to spend all of your time developing yourself because that's the kind of person you are. So that would be my advice. And in terms of time, just one thing that might help you, because I'm still in university. That's something most people don't
That's what I
realize. I'm
mean.
still
Like
in
this
university.
is the thing, right? He's a very good example.
One thing that helps a lot is because we're based in Europe, if you work with companies that are based in the United States, you can actually start working when they start working when you're finished with your job in university, and it helps an awful lot. The other benefit is money just moves differently in the United States. They have their whole perception of money is very, very different. In Ireland, for example, when I'm trying to sell to European companies and Irish companies, unless they're startups, they're generally quite cheap. With the United States, it's not the same. Their perception of money is just different. They can get a loan for anything, and that's just how they view it. So I would highly recommend reaching out to anyone. At your stage right now, it doesn't matter who you're working with. But just keep that in mind that if they're US based, the whole time thing isn't even an issue. They're not going to be sending you messages at work because they're going to be asleep. So when you're done at whatever time you're done at, you still have a solid 5 hours to still do work. So I don't know. Hopefully that helps you a little bit, but that would be my advice.
Yeah, it does. I already thought about reaching out to US because of the same thing that you had mentioned. So for me, it will still be that. I already kind of thought about like the correct ICP based also on Jacob. Like he's definitely at a higher level. I'm definitely not even there, and I don't think I'll get there for like another 10 or 15 years because of my priorities in life right now, which is not making that kind of money right now because I do want to spend more time with my family is the only reason. But
one thing I'd like to clarify is everything you've said so far is what you've been thinking about doing. But you need to
I
actually
haven't
just go and
started
do
it. Yeah.
You need to do your job. We can't get rid of that yet because you need to cover bills. We all understand that. But you need to forget everything else and just focus on starting to get some more money in after your job in other ways. And that includes, that is just finding somebody that's going to pay you to do clay work, even if it's basic. And when you're doing that work, that's when you're going to learn the absolute most. And
do they actually pay
don't
for
worry
like
about anything
basic
else.
stuff? Do they
Yes, they
actually
pay for
like
basic stuff. Like when I started out doing clay stuff, I went from running a lead generation agency and I got sick of it because I just kept working with agencies that didn't pay me and it was an absolute disaster. Then what I moved into is I literally just built lead lists for lead generation agencies. I just moved into servicing the kind of company I was. And that sounds very fancy, but literally all I was doing was building very basic clay tables, scraping Apollo or scraping Sales Nav, and then enriching them and cleaning them and sending them the list. And I would charge 100 euros an hour for that. And that's cheap nowadays. But 100 euros an hour is quite a lot for you if you were to do a few of them, and you would do a few of them. 100 euros an hour maybe takes you an hour, 2 hours to do that project, and then they cover tech costs. You're talking maybe 250 euros. You do 2 of them, that's already 500 euros.
Okay.
Like you need to change your, and that's cheap. Like that's a cheap project. Some people charge way more than that. Like nowadays, I'd be charging 750 euros for that same work. So you just need to change your perception of what people value this stuff, how people value this stuff. And forget about everything else. Forget about defining your ICP, building the next sculpted. Right now, just focus on getting some money in. And then as you progress, you can start fixing all of that stuff. But if you try and fix that stuff now, you're never going to actually start. So just get money in, then you can start figuring out what your best ICP is. And I know I brought up the whole ICP thing, but I was just giving you advice on later on down the line. Right now, you just need to get some clients, and then you can start fixing everything else. And then you can start worrying about how to become even better and better and better. And you will be a huge agency owner then. But you need to stop trying to be perfect, stop worrying that you're not good enough, and just start doing. And if you're not good enough, the market will tell you. Like the market is not shy. They'll tell you when you're not good enough. Most of the time you are good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you agree, Johannes?
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree. And like you also do LinkedIn outreach because you're doing it for your client, right?
Yeah, it's like
You,
I've been doing it. I know how to do it because I've been doing it for internally for
right. So you
covering
could do it
5
for
different
yourself
accounts.
as well, easy.
I could do it for myself easily. Yeah.
Exactly. So what stops you from doing it for yourself?
Time, I suppose. I know the
That's
amount of time
bullshit
that
excuse. No, I'm not taking this.
it's
That's
like
bullshit excuse.
it's I don't know. It's like I really have been concentrating on the CRM one, the CRM certification, which now
Yeah, I
I know how to
understand.
do.
But
It's
like,
like, and then getting it, and then everything. There was like this week for me, I would like to finish it this week. Like this week for me is a priority in
okay.
getting that
And
done.
then and then
And
you can
then
start to do outreach for yourself.
I could start doing the outreach for myself. Yeah. Then I
Okay, that's
can,
good.
the idea was like to start with the second part of the training, which is direct matching with what is it called, with um uh, coaching for the business side. And then and already in parallel of that, already out starting to outreach directly to the different
Okay.
clients. So
All right. So to put this together, right, I want to quickly just point out one thing. This is like this is also a typical example of people that are just stuck, right? Why? Because basically what you do is you're building all the backend system, you do all the training, you do everything just to not go out there, right? You're getting better, you train yourself, you think you're doing things, but you're not moving any needle. You're not doing anything to move your business forward. Absolutely nothing. The only thing that you do is, yeah, okay, you train, you get better, you get better, you get better, but nobody sees that you get better. You can stay there for the next year, not making any sense, but you just like, thinking that you're getting better and better and better. But trust me, and Ratan also knows this, that like the best with learning is really out there, go out there and do it and fail. And it's okay to fail and
oh
make
yeah.
mistakes. That's another thing that people like this, the perfectionist thing, like failing is a good thing. If you fail more, you learn more. Like I failed a lot when I started out. I did a lot of shit when I started out. But it's like the thing is the biggest problem that I see with a lot of people, not just you, a lot of people, they do all these tasks basically to prepare themselves for when they are ready, like building these things, getting more stuff, getting more skills, but never go out there and show the world who they are. And that's the biggest problem. And that's why they're stuck. They're not scaling. They're not going anywhere. I know so many people that have exactly this problem. They have like 3, 4 clients, for example. Then they shut down their outreach because they're like, yeah, I don't know. I need to first of all figure it out for these clients. And it's just terrible to see. Or they're like, yeah, I'm not ready to really scale up, whatever. But so many people work in the back end and really like, I call it busy being busy. They're busy being busy, but they're not moving any fucking needle whatsoever. If you continue the next year like this, you learn and learn and learn and not making 1 cent, right? But if
Yeah.
you right now start and go out there and get a few projects, like he's saying, you're already maybe making something, getting some money in, you know what I mean? Start that you get the first maybe case studies or whatsoever, and even you like even, and you know this also, like I started to work at the start, I worked for free for people, right? Just because to get case studies, like this was something that was normal for us. We at the old times we just charged the setup fee and then we charged pay per call. That was for us, that was normal, right? And like just to get out there and get experience and just get in the trenches. Like the most important thing for you is get out there and start fucking doing and not just draining in the back end. You need to start doing and make mistakes and fail, and that's completely cool. But the biggest problem, this is what I see, and I see it with so many people, and that's what I mean. That's what I said before. From mindset is the foundation of everything. As long as you don't fix that, no, my friend. Because like you in the back end, training, doing things, learning strategies, learning skills, but your biggest problem is that you go out there and you're scared of rejection. Like what would people say? What do I fail? What happens when this? What is this? This is the insecurity. That's why you're not going out there. And that's why you even say to me, like, okay, I don't have time. Bullshit. You have time, but you think you're not good enough to go out there with your service. Let's be right. Let's be honest. Right? And
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
kind of,
Well,
yeah.
one thing that we'd like to one thing that I think we should clarify is in reality, you don't have time, Anna. But the reason you don't have time is because you're spending your time not prospecting.
Exactly.
Like you have your job and you have your family. Those are non-negotiables right now. Your family is always a non-negotiable, and at the minute your job is a non-negotiable. But the learning, yes, it's important, but you've already done loads of learning. You have enough to start getting work. Actually, what I might do, I'm gonna need to wrap this meeting up very soon, but I'll just share my screen quickly. Can you guys see this?
It's still sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you just go to the Clay group and the Smart Lead group and most of these Slack groups, if you just scroll up, every single one of these is looking for, some of them are inbox managers, but look, go-to-market engineer,
Yeah.
outbound campaign manager. Like there's so, just scroll through all of these. And I wouldn't recommend reaching out on Slack because you might get banned. And I'm not trying to promote spam in the Slack, but just reach out to all of them, find their LinkedIns, send them a connection request or send a cold call them, whatever it takes. Send them a voice message and just say, if you want, I can actually send you a message right after this call that you can start sending. And right after this call, I'd like you to reach out to at least 15 people. I guarantee you that you'll land one job if you reach out to 15 people. I guarantee you, for the price that you're charging, you will. I would nearly hire you if I had work, but I don't have work to give you at the minute. Okay, just reach
No.
out to 15 people and send them a voice message saying, hey, I'm Anna. I've been doing XYZ for the past 11 years, and I really just want to get out of my job. I've been doing Clay, and I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm trying to learn, and I'd be willing to build this, this, and this, or whatever work you have in Clay. And if anything, if you really want to land the job, leave it at that, but then follow up if they don't respond, saying, listen, I'm actually not that expensive. And you can give them a price. I don't recommend doing this normally, but if you really need clients, it's a great way because you're in a lucky position where you don't need to charge a lot because you don't have any bills in with your business. You have bills, but they're being covered by your work. With your business, your only bill is just your time. And sending those voice messages, that's not going to take you any time. The voice message itself takes 30 seconds to record. And then even if that takes too much time, you can just write a text message, copy and paste, and you can reach out to 100 people. You can reach out to as many people as LinkedIn allows in 10 minutes. And then that's actually doing way more for you than the 3 or 4 hours you're spending learning how to build CRMs and stuff in Nathan Lippy's course. And no hate to Nathan Lippy, his course is phenomenal. It's just right now that's not what you need.
He's actually been pushing me in order to get it to finish. He's been absolutely great.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to have to wrap this up. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for being so open and honest. Okay, like there's a lot of people who can't even get to that stage. I know Johannes, you'll agree. There's many people that can't even do that.
Yes, absolutely.
I'd also like to say
It's
thank you,
great that
Johannes, for being
that
here,
you came out
facilitating.
and you. It's great that you came out and you said like you're voluntary. You realize that there's something that you want to change, and that's a massive first big step. And I think it doesn't matter if it was me now or also Ruta. I think, do I spell your name correct, by the way? I am not sure about that. But like, I think for you it's important that you really understand that you make these mindset changes, you know? That's exactly what you need to do to understand exactly what, like I brought you more the general thing about mindset, but he gave you like really step-by-step instructions what you
Practical.
need to do. So the combination is exactly what you need to do. You need to do a general mindset thing, but you also need to do the step-by-step thing that he just told you. And if you combine this, I think you can go very far in a short time.
Yeah, I agree because what Johannes gave you is actually far more useful than what I gave you. The general principles, they never die. But I know as a perfectionist that when I see general principles, and this is why I kind of had to jump in, is because when I see general principles, I start thinking about, oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, and I get caught in Wonderland. I just start thinking about everything I could do. And then I start doing all of these random stuff so that, oh, in 2 years, then I can actually do this and I'll blow up and it'll be fantastic. But that's not what you need. You just need to do the bare minimum just to get some work in the door. So I'm going to send you a message after this. It's going to be a text message actually, because then you have no time excuse. And then you're just going to reach out to absolutely everyone here that mentions go-to-market engineer or clay creator or whatever, and just send them a message on LinkedIn. And then once you run out of LinkedIn credits, don't tell anyone, but you can probably send them a voice message on Slack as well. Just don't do it too much because then they can ban you. And then that's all you need, and you will definitely get at least one client. And then once you get results for them, then you can get more clients, and it grows from there. And then the first client is probably going to be very stressful. You're probably going to be like, oh, shit. They asked how to scrape
What did I
companies
get?
that
What did
are
I get into?
expanding.
Yeah, this is
They're
normal.
like, yeah, but that's how it works. That you're going to get way more personal development from that than you would from any course. You can't teach those
Exactly.
things in a course.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to have to wrap this up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
thank you, Johannes. Thank you. First of all, thank you. Is it Kian?
A lot of people say this wrong, but I don't blame them. Because
What
if
is
they
it?
don't know, it's Ken. You can ignore the
Ken.
A.
Ah,
Ken.
okay, Ken. Okay.
Easy.
Thank you, Ken and Anna, and I know Eric was here for a while. Thank you for joining. Okay, I know this is kind of a strange time for a lot of people and they can't hop on, but thank you guys for joining. And maybe certain you guys are always on the calls. So huge thank you for that. Anna, thank you for being so open. And I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to send you a message and make sure you send those messages because otherwise you're going to be stuck.
This is
And I don't want
exactly
to
what
see you
she needs.
stuck.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Johannes, thank you so much for facilitating this call. Yeah, I'm going to stop the recording now. And I'm just going to ask you guys afterwards who else you would like to have on.
Right.